What's going on, guys? In today's video we're going to talk about the core of my playstyle, the aspect of these games, and basically all online games with player interaction that I find the most fascinating and enjoyable. Player manipulation. Alright? Now this, in essence, I would describe it as the ability for you to do something in the game to get the other person to do something that you can anticipate and punish accordingly, right? And this is my favorite thing about online games or just anything. And it all, in my opinion, derives from a love of chess when I was a kid, and I'd play all the time. I loved it. And I really enjoyed different strategies and different techniques in order to get other people to do things. And I kind of studied up on it when I was a kid. So we're going to pause that right now and talk about the clip. So this clip was from last night. Me and I Am Amish were doing some testing for a video of his, and I had put my sign down when he went AFK, and I get summoned by this dude. Now, of course, we were passworded up, so it was kind of strange for him to have the same password. So we're fighting, and I'm using an unupgraded Saints Bident, and I'm fighting him with it. I'm doing like 8 damage a hit because I also don't have the faith requirement. So we start doing a bare fist fight after a while. He feels bad that I feel bad. So then I whoop his ass with the bare fist, try to give him some embers. He doesn't want to pick him up, so he gets backstabbed. Now, while I'm fighting this guy, I Am Amish summons the dude that this guy was trying to summon, is fighting him, and he tells me he's some ultra full Havels user, so I summon him right after. Hit him with the R2 run BS. Wake up R2, run BS. Chain backstab. That's the closest you can get in Dark Souls 3 to a chain backstab. So, back to the player manipulation portion of this video. So, like I was saying, it can have so many different ranges, so many different varied ways that you can manipulate people in this game specifically. Now, we'll talk about a couple. So, there's the old baits, right? R1 whiff. You whiff an R1 and counterattack the person when they try to come in on you because they think that you have animation ending lag. Alright, so that's what I would refer to as the most simple. Right? Barker bomb bait. You know, throw something, they do something that you can easily anticipate and then punish. So let's talk about something that's very common in Dark Souls 3. And that's when the host feels like they can't win, they're just going to run away from you. They're going to run, they're going to roll, they're going to put on Wave the Blue, they're going to summon all their little friends, and they're just going to keep doing that until somebody comes in the world. The second they come in the world, everybody's a badass. All the hosts now, they'll do whatever the fuck they want, and they're not scared because they feel like they can win, okay? So when you're fighting a solo host or you're spanking a gank and you get them all, they're all dead, and it's only the host left. Solo host, same aspect. You know, there's only one person that you're fighting, right? Something that I do sometimes that you guys have seen in a couple of videos is me. I switch to bare fist. Switch to the bare fist, the least intimidating weapon in the game. All right, in my opinion. Well, I lied. There's probably some worse weapons, but to the normal player, when they see somebody with bare fist, they often think it's a trick. It's some kind of joke, like this guy's trolling me or something. Some people will think this, but the majority of people will think I have a chance to win, and they won't run from you. They won't go try to summon. They'll try to fight you. All right. Now, what I do when I'm employing this strategy is sometimes I will not dodge things. I will blatantly get hit. Okay. Now, pausing that. We see this dude. This was probably 5 minutes of me beating this fucking dude's ass with the bare fist while he's using the Farron Greatsword. And, you know, I did some old run BS's and shit on him. And now we have the same effect as if we had a regular weapon, basically. And he knows he's not going to win against the bare fist. So he runs and summons his little friend. Okay. And I find that to be kind of pathetic, but okay. And we won't judge him too hard for it because he doesn't think he's going to win. So, we hit him with the R1 weapon swap run BS. That's the first time I ever actually tried to do it, and it was so worth it. And that's another point I really kind of want to stress, is that it's so enjoyable when these things actually work out, that it's so much more rewarding. It's the only satisfaction I can get in the game anymore. Some more examples of player manipulation or baits that you could do. You could do anything from the weapon that you're using, the attack that you're using, the distance in which you're using the attack, the armor that you're wearing, the rings that you're wearing. It can all be used to manipulate the other person. So thinking about that in this way, you can see the possibilities are almost endless. And for me, I use a lot of things that are, out of the ordinary, that most people don't use. And that's because people aren't used to fighting it. They're not used to seeing it. And that in itself is another form of strategy that I also employ, and that I think is very viable. But now let's talk about how we can use all these things to manipulate other people. And the answer to that isn't really an easy one, but it kind of is. There's no overnight solution, I should say. It's just time and experience. It's using all of your PvP knowledge and your PvP skill to understand what the other person is going to do in a natural state and in a pressured state, and figuring out how you could possibly punish that. So a lot of the time, you have to already be good at the game to do a lot of these more advanced things. You already have to have the muscle memory and stuff. But certain things you don't have to be skilled at. You don't have to be good. You don't have to invest a lot of time in learning them. And this is one of them. And this is something that everyone should be doing, is when you see somebody fighting someone else, or they're locked in an animation of any sort, or they just don't expect it, just run up and backstab them. It'll do a lot of damage, and you'll knock them on the ground. It could give you some precious seconds to formulate a new plan, or give your invader buddy a second to breathe, or to roll catch the knockdown opponent, right? And then after a while, you can start trying more advanced backstabs. Like we see this nice pivot, and this cheesy and easy perseverance safety net backstab. But you just work your way up from the bottom. Try the easiest ones like this, just run backstab somebody, and then, try yourself a couple pivots. Look at this well-spaced backstab on this guy's R1R1. Just right when the animation was, the hitbox was dying, I walked right into it, and then we roll BS his R2R1 attempt. Finish it off with a boulder heave. And that's going to be another video that I'm going to do soon, is on the true roll BS, which relies almost entirely on prediction, because you have to roll earlier than you see somebody swing a lot of the time. And that is to punish their first R1 only. Not the R1 after that, which is what I see a lot of people do when they roll backstab. But when you roll early enough, you can actually punish the first R1. And even if they try to roll out after that, they won't be able to roll. But I'll talk more about roll backstabs when I get around to making the roll backstab video. So we'll talk more about prediction, playstyle, and player manipulation. So let's say you are currently manipulating a player. You have anticipated their reaction, and you've punished their reaction. What do you do now? Do you just revert back to neutral and try to do it again? No. What you have to do is further manipulate them. Anticipate what they're going to do after they attack. Now this, in a lot of regards, is similar to chess. It's similar to billiards or pool, because good players, they're not looking at the first move. They're looking at the second move, the third move, and the skill level, it goes higher and higher. Now that doesn't mean you should be always trying to make these astronomically rare 7 read combos. No. But you certainly don't want to drop the combo early for no reason. So let's say I get a roll BS. Am I just going to let them stand up free? No, I'm going to try to roll catch them. I'm going to try to punish them further and continue the combo. Continue the damage while putting them in a position of severe disadvantage and further manipulation. Okay, now when you're using a weak weapon, you are really able to manipulate people because they know they're going to do more damage than you. So basically everything that you've learned in the game thus far, you can use that to bait people, to manipulate them, and to make your wins super satisfying. But not all invasions go this way. You can't always manipulate the other guy. It doesn't work. In super ganked out situations especially, you can't really do it. Okay? Now, to be perfectly honest, I get all kind of wins all the time. Gank spanks, just wins in general, and they don't mean shit to me. Like, it didn't feel that good. I didn't do anything cool. I didn't enjoy that win, really. I mean, it's a win. I would rather win than lose, but it's just not as satisfying. Let's say for every 10 wins that are just R1s and spacing, that equals 1 win of just pure player manipulation. I could even say more than that, to be honest, but that's a more conservative number there. And that's just to give you an idea of when you finally are able to convert all that regular PvP knowledge into the fact that you can use all of that against somebody else, like to a much higher capacity than the other person is able to perform. You are able to just do insane things that are super fun and otherwise make normal PvP just not as enjoyable. That's it for this time, guys. I hope you learned something new. I hope these were insights that you could use to your advantage. Talk to you later, guys.